All right, well, the Trump administration outraging the left over its extreme vetting and tougher border controls.
So we wanted to know how much harder it was for our ancestors to get here.
That's right. So I took a trip a couple days ago to the historic Ellis Island right here in New York to find out exactly how tough the immigration process used to be. We're here at Ellis Island, America's primary immigration gateway for over 60 years. From 1892 to 1954, over 12 million immigrants walked through those doors and were processed as they entered America. We're here to learn about that process and how it compares to the immigration process today. Ranger Johnson.
Pete, how are you doing?
How are you? Thanks for having us. Where are we right now?
Right now you've walked into the baggage room, and so when immigrants would come off the barges coming in, the ferries, they come right in here. They'd be encouraged to check in their luggage right away.
After they drop their luggage, where are they going?
They're going to begin their inspection process at the health examination. There would be at least 6 doctors.
6 doctors?
Right. That would be watching you as you come up and stop at these landings and then make certain turns and different angles. That would provide the doctors with vantage points to really make an assessment of your
So they're looking for physical health and condition.
That's right. They would indicate what seemed to be wrong or seemed to have a problem by this chalk mark system.
So chalk marking. So they would come up with chalk and literally
right on your lapel or maybe on your hat or some part of your outfit.
This is effectively where new immigrants meet the bureaucracy and the immigration laws of the United States of America.
That's right. So they're trying to determine whether the individual will be able to work, in some fashion, earn money, that they are healthy, and also to determine that they're not likely to become a public charge. Those are the main 3.
What does public charge mean?
Public charge would mean that the government, through taxes being paid, are somehow going to have to take care of these people.
How many people were turned back on a total basis?
Talk about maybe about 20% that were initially detained for either legal issues or health issues. But out of all that and all those numbers, only about 2% are actually excluded or sent back. Well, there were several different types of mental tests or exams. One of them, yes, it's actually literally just a piece of wood that's been sawed into puzzle pieces.
It's not clear that I would have been admitted. It's not clear at all. We're standing at kind of the podium where a final judgment is given. I also see, whether you're an anarchist or whether you're a polygamist or whether you've committed a crime. If anarchists were a threat, they want to make sure you're not one.
Right, and by 1901, President McKinley is assassinated by an anarchist. So at least by 1903, a version that we have, the question has been added. Part of the idea was perhaps to impress upon them the idea of a patriotism to this new country, and as the term would develop, Americanism.
As millions of immigrants came through, a lot of things changed in the way it was configured. One thing never changed: the presence of huge, beautiful American flags that greeted every single new immigrant that entered this room. The idea was, you may have come from any corner of the earth, but you are now here in America to be an American. And our expectation is that you will work hard, have an allegiance for this country, and do everything you can to move your family forward and this country forward. It was the idea that made America a very special place.
In your opinion, who discovered America?
I'm a natural blonde, you do know that.
Who discovered America?
Abraham Lincoln.
Wasn't it Christopher Columbus?
The Indians, the Native Americans?
They say Christopher Columbus, but it was named after Amerigo Vespucci, who had initially found the continent.
That is correct.
Now, which Indian tribes did Columbus deal with when he got here?
Taino Indian, which is, I'm actually descent of Taino Indian.
Do you harbor animosity towards Columbus since you're Native American?
Not at all. So you have to forgive to live.
Tell me how Columbus got here.
One of them raftings, right?
Well done! Well done!
Now, when Columbus got here, where did he land, do you think?
He landed in Manhattan Island.
What did he do when he got to the island of Manhattan?
He formed a colony.
Where did Columbus land when he touched down?
New York.
More south.
Boston.
What year around did Columbus arrive?
Columbus sailed the ocean blue and something 62, 1562, 60, I don't know.
It was like 1692.
What year did he discover America, Columbus?
1492.
Ancient Americans or Native Americans, and sometimes as American Indians or American Indians, are the names given to the ethnicities of the indigenous peoples of the Americas before the time of Christopher Columbus, the pre-Columbian era, and also for the dynasties that descended from them. In Canada, these are also called First Nations. They were first called Indians because Christopher Columbus mistakenly thought that he had reached the East Indies when he discovered the New World, and later they were called American Indians and American Indians to distinguish them from the Asian Indians.
So yes, Native Americans, whatever is left of them, are not indigenous Indians.
Personally, I cringe every time I hear the word illegal.
I don't think that people realize that the first illegal immigrants were European settlers.
We're still here and we care about what's going on.
It was a normal day for me, sitting on the beach, getting some sun, minding my own business, when lo and behold, along comes this boat. And can you believe it? As big as I am, it bumps into me. Ow!
Who said that? I think it was The Rock. The Rock? Oh, whatever. Let's plant the flag, shall we? I do hereby name this place Plymouth. Very nice. And what about a name for the rock? I do hereby name this rock Plymouth Rock. Is that the only name you know? Sounds great to me. Let's go.
And so the Pilgrims got off the boat and began the hard work of setting up a settlement in the New World. Ouch! Eat.
I feel like it's astronaut in a boat. I feel like it's astronaut. I feel like it's astronaut in a boat. Roger, we confirm.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D, don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb, I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental, let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought, no flow, rain wasn't pouring down. See, that pain was all around, see, my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn, flow was cool, but I still felt burned. Energy up, you can feel my surge, I'ma kill everything like this purge.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. The ocean. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Becoming more and more common, authorities solving decades-old mysteries with the use of genetic genealogy.
And this combines DNA data with traditional family tree-style genealogy.
Liz Warren blasted the Supreme Court for declaring affirmative action unconstitutional. She's been carrying a grudge against white people ever since she was exposed as one. Let's hope she doesn't go on the warpath. Ooh, yeah.
The idea that immigrants come over here and they don't know anything and they're dragging us down, because we all come from immigrants, including you, Tomi Lahren.
She talks about low skills. What exactly are her skills?
Her second great-grandmother had been here for 10 years, yet spoke no English. Oh, my gosh. 1930 census says Tomi's 3 times great-grandmother had been here for 41 years and still spoke German. She didn't speak English either. She doesn't even know her own history. She certainly doesn't know this country's history.
Fox News contributor Tomi Lahren is here to respond to that. So, Tomi, what led to that bashing on The View?
We understand that we are a nation of immigrants, and I am proud of my heritage.
Well, you know, I wrote the book Family Reigns, and I realized just how hard my family, my ancestors worked, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and on down the line, and how they built the company. And they built it through being inclusive. They built it through staying out of politics. They didn't want to alienate one side against the other. And they built it on American values, you know, of quality and strength and patriotism. And that's what it was all about.
Welcome back. So my family history has always been important to me. I'm a proud Texan, and I come from a long line of other proud Texans. But I've always wanted to know more. What came before Texas? Where was my family originally before they were brought here to the U.S. and everything in between?
All of them human bones or a human ancestor. That's in itself incredible, because usually you found all kinds of things all mixed up. But this is just human ancestral bones.
You know, it's amazing to see and be reminded of how stringent we were to making sure that people coming in here were willing to work, weren't bringing in illnesses, and weren't going to be on the public charge or in need of benefits overwhelmingly, and ultimately that they assimilated to the idea of America. You contrast that today, 75.9% of refugees that come to America are on food stamps. And I think the distinction between refugees and immigrants was different then, right? You had a different classification and all that. But the expectation was if you come here to work, you come here to invest, you come here to become an American, which is a little bit different than the sort of multicultural ethos that we have today, which is kind of do your own thing. And it changes the fabric of your country.
Do you have any ancestors that came through there?
We checked. No, they all came from Norway, but I don't think there were any there that came through Ellis.
Vikings.
They came on their own ships.